Hello, kittens. Let's start with the music and see you in a few minutes. Oh, jeez. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and I'm so looking forward to the reading today. So, as I put in the comments, Tiger got skunked. It was so much fun running around, figuring out what to do. I was already in my jammies, already in bed, and I got up thinking that I have to go to the pharmacy to get peroxide. Found at the last moment, it was where I put it. And then I had to go in a bathtub with him in a shower actually to kind of like watch him and he kind of like went in knowing that it's helpful. But the second time when I had to wash him, oh, he was not going. So I was like, am I going to break my leg now trying to carry 65 pounds in a very slippery slope? And then after all of that was done, I realized I have some mold in the bathroom. So I said, okay, since I'm wet, let's clean that. So it's like really nothing compared to what you went through, Barbie. So this is what we are doing today. Like Barbie, I have to just give you a heads up because we had it the last time. We have fast lives and we have a full life. I don't know if this is a good name. If anybody has better kind of like name, maybe let's call it zoomies, just to keep it in the cat kind of like world. And the other ones are just regular kind of like monthlies. So in the zoomies, I'm not going to put the little signs, and I'm trying to coordinate. So Barbie, you are still running and telling when is the sign, and I will try to say a timestamp, which I think Knitting Yogi will try to capture, so we don't have to go and watch and review, so people can see it quickly. So I'll be going from sign to sign, and all the people who win the reading because they guess the sign, I'm actually going to group. I'm going to group it with doors, and that way I can go through the process faster. It worked really well last time. I'm a little bit concerned because runes are really all-encompassing, just like gypsy cards, but we will see. As long as it doesn't last 3 hours, because I'm then wasted for the whole freaking weekend. I'm getting old. That's all there is. Old cat. That's what it is. So anyway, we do have also one rune, and I don't know if it's here. It's not here. That is completely. That is not a rune. That is like a blind rune, as they call it. The blind rune signifies. That's it. There is no reading. There's like something that you need to deal with right now. If the blind rune comes out first before any other reading, I'll have to switch to something else, because that's the rule when you're reading with blinds, with runes. So it is a Nordic system. It's how Odin was trapped in the hangman position, and somebody, a god, put the runes down, and he knew how to read them. I kind of like knew that with Lenormand cards. I knew right away. I just like got it right away. So this is to me really amazing because it's a symbolism that kind of like goes. So okay, Kylie, if you say so. I know my bones are really different. And let's start here. It is like 7:40 on my watch. So let's see what is the delay. I'm going to tell you what is delay, so you can maybe add to that stamp that delay. So this is going to be the first after Virgo, because the Virgo goes first. So I'm back after a time. Hey, hi Andy, welcome back. Good to see. Okay, so let me see. It is exactly 30 seconds. So Knitting Yogi, could you please add 30 seconds to anything that I tell you? So it's basically when I'm starting. So Virgo, what are you getting, Virgo, over here? You're getting the rune. I don't know if you're seeing this properly, which is called Othila. This is the rune of authority, and it's like freaking fantastic rune to get like any time that you can get, but specifically when this is the only rune that you can read. And this is really talking about responsibility. Like, I mean, which sign is responsible if not Virgo? So it is about loyalty, it is about respect, and it is identity and foundations of family. So this is associated with a clan. I maybe should put it on something, because this is kind of like I couldn't put it any lower than it is, but let me see if I can have something higher. Oh, let's try with this. Something to lift it up on a pedestal. Here we go. That's the Othila rune. Oh my gosh, this kind of looks actually nice as well, right? So what basically I think you need to really think about it is that this rune is often present in the reading to suggest dynastic concerns. So almost like if I'm reading for a Queen Elizabeth, I would say, okay, that is what is happening right now. We are really dealing with this traditional kind of like things, engagements, marriages, births, deaths, right? So you might be dealing with, I don't know, writing a will or dealing with a family property. It can actually signify inheritance as well. But it doesn't have to be anything material. So in fact, it's more kind of like likely to be expressed kind of like characteristics that you share with your ancestors and relatives. That is really going to play the role. Maybe you're just going to watch the old photographs and going to say, you know what, there is a wisdom in that. I really can kind of like get into that. So also maybe taking advice from older people or from experienced professionals is kind of like going to be on agenda over here. So prepare yourself, and like, I mean, this is a really good influence, and when this influence is over, you're going to move closer to your heritage and to your origins. So this is really, really important. So there you go. Kylie has 111 on the clock. Any guesses for what we have here? I didn't prepare the deck for it, but do I have anything behind me that I can use? Here, let me grab it. I'm gonna grab this one. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? It was 11:11 that I was looking at it right now when you said it in the reading. So, well, Kylie, we are all in the same age group. I consider myself timeless. Okay, I'm like Scorpio. Let me see, Pisces. And I will take a note of people who win so I can group them later. Oh, good morning, Chris. Yeah, I'm worried about you and Lorna. Like, how is the life in California? Are you guys affected with all of that stuff? What's going on? So, the next one is Sagittarius. Sagittarius. So I'm going to put Sagittarius aside. And for you guys who want to guess, I'm going to do next one here. Next one is here, so you can start guessing. And I got a deck here for Sagis, and let's see the rune for Sagis. Well, you can see this. There we go. I cannot see it, by the way. This is just directly in front of camera, so I cannot see it. So, oh my goodness, Sagis, like you're like Jupiter, right? Like the people, and this is Raido. Raido is the rune of time. It is very interesting that you're getting it during the Mercury retrograde. Oh my goodness. So you are that proverbial kind of like mind traveler, right? And this is kind of like what is really, really happening. And this is like 1240, and it is a real stamp, not delay stamp. Sorry, I forgot already. With Raido, what basically is happening here, you're kind of like dealing with rotation of the heavens. So that's what Odin said. This is rotation of the heavens, and it's almost like that Wheel of Fortune. Like that's what I said. Oh my God, this is literally what it's shown for you in tarot cards, right? So, or writing, like, I mean, it kind of like is connecting with voting, etc., etc. It's also upright. So it's basically about the road that you travel, but that road that you travel can be bumpy at times, right? So this writer tells you that journey is worth the effort. Kind of like don't focus only on the end kind of like thing, just keep on keeping on your journey, right? So you also need to conduct yourself really honorably all the time, doing the right things to those you meet along the way. Very important. When you get this, any little Mickey Mouse things that we do, even a white lie, going to cost you. And it's really important, and it's so hard because we are so used to kind of like saying niceties, and maybe we should be silent instead, right? So if, for example, you have your hopes stalled, that appearance of this rune is very good news, showing that things will move forward again very soon. Official and legal affairs are going to be very beneficial under this rune, so it's very important. Is this kind of like still skewed for you? So it's very important to kind of like all disputes are addressed because they are going to be resolved to your satisfaction. So just keep this in mind. So this is not actually really a rune of advice, since the message of radio is that the only judgment you should rely upon is your own. So assure that in general you're on the right track, and you're going to be getting all the signs that this is like what is happening, right? I also have to note that this rune also implies that you should play your cards really close to your chest. You know how Sagittarius, you're like very open, your energy is very giving. I would say just be very, very careful. Sorry, my OCD is making me try to organize it properly how it is. And it is off for some reason, and I'm just trying to get it right. So this is really good news, my dear Sagittarius, and I really hope it works out. Guys, throw in your hats over there, and let's see which one is next. So this one is going to be next, and this one here, it's okay. It's not great. It's okay, kind of a thing, right? And this is going to be the next one to guess. So let me see what it could say. Quake was fun. Oh shit, pardon me. Oh my god, epicenter. Oh my god, it was like that bad, and it was outside in the field. Jesus, I didn't even know that you had the earthquake over there. Oh, sorry. Cancer, Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn. Good morning, creative. Hello. Who guessed? Who guessed? Oh my gosh, we don't have takers, but this is really tough in the beginning. Really, really tough. So Aries is at 1635. So add 10, 30 seconds to it. 1710, I guess. And I guess you trust me that I am not pulling something because I really don't see it. Right here. I'm also glad that you're okay, Chris. And that would be Aries. So this is a little bit of a warning. As you can see, like these runes, like you have to think not only that I'm just giving you this meaning, but like you need to think that, hey, how does this rune look like? Look at these sticks. What is happening with this energy? Are you feeling comfortable with the flow of energy? So it's interruption, right, over here that we are seeing. So this is Hagalas. Hagalas is a rune that was one really dreaded, my dear Aries. And this is really extreme interpretation. I would not go there. So what? Somebody just like put a stick. It's like wrench in, like, what is the expression in English? Somebody put a wrench in it, kind of like that, kind of like would equal to it, right? Because it's symbolically, it is associated with bad weather, with kind of like storms and blizzards. And you need to understand that back in those times that was very important, because as Chris told us, that would just really kill the crop and everything. So when taken literally, that can indicate a postponement or cancellation of plans because of bad weather, right? So, but however, like runes are not really literal, at least not most of the time. So the message is more or less really deeper. It's likely that, quote unquote, cold winds of harsh reality, just to play with metaphors, I guess, are about to blow through your life. You know, so it's going to be some kind of like really grounding effect, but it's going to be really elemental force. Maybe you did something that somebody else didn't like, and you didn't feel that you wronged anybody, but there is like also your opinion, their opinion, and universal opinion. That's why we have judges, and judges are not perfect, but this is kind of like the universal opinion coming in. So this is a powerless position, I really have to tell you. So also remember, when we feel fear or anything, when we're in that position, then our imagination kind of like runs wild, right? And don't give in to unfounded fears over here. Some interpretations of this rune emphasize gambling or risk of gambling, right? If this is your case, that you like not only just going to casinos, but gamble with something that you know, oh, it might go right. I play one card game online. and it's a team player thing. And since you generally don't, you just drop in and you don't really have your partner all the time, you see how different people have a different style, and some people become very abusive because you're not playing their style. So be very careful here. If you feel that your actions can merit this kind of like response, I would just back out. So I would just say here, sit tight, because that's almost guaranteeing a victory. What happens when the storms are blasting? You need to be in the shelter, and you need to be well kind of like protected. That's the way to go through the storm. So that's what it is. So good morning everybody. So next things, guys, over here, please guess, what do you think it is? Hello, you cat. Hello, my kittens are showing up. It's so good to hear. Like, I was really thinking about you, Chris, and I think Knitting Yogi mentioned, oh my goodness, what is happening? We haven't heard from Chris on our mod line, and we are hearing all of this stuff about California. It was like, oh my god, right? What's going on? So we'll see. Okay, we are having Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio, Leo. So this is going to be here, and here is going to be the one after. You can, guys, keep guessing. The moment when Barbie says in capital letters, she puts it in that we are reading a sign, that moment you can start guessing the next one, just to let you know. All right, so let's see who guessed. Who guessed Libra? George guessed Libra. Anybody else guess Libra? Okay, George, you're going to get your card read for you when we get to the doors. So I'm going to put your name down, so stay tuned. And Libra. What else have you heard? We heard about these fires. I saw on television they were showing people basically going to get their waters because it was just complete drought, I guess. It just really looked almost like a big devastation, so we were very worried. So Libra. Okay, so here it is, a reversal, right? So this is like Uruz. This is up position, this is down position. So this is the rune of irresistible force. How is that for a reading, Libra? Barbie, like, this is your reading for a day, and this is kind of like what really already happened for you. So these are the mighty forces of universe. So what happens when your vehicle breaks down? Whether or not this is your fault, not your fault, it doesn't matter, because it did happen. It's an interruption. And like, I'm really looking even at my readings differently now that I'm studying French, because I have a tutor who is like very precise. She's a Cancer, and she's also a yoga teacher. And I have another guru, Knitting Yogi, who is helping me with, I guess, trying to get in shape and be more balanced. She's really, really good in Qigong. Like, you should, if you need kind of like something to help you to kind of like re-energize your meridians, I highly advise booking her in. So Uruz, guys, precision over here, what happens is considered to be a rune of great and primordial power. So this is it. You are that wolf, you are that freaking bear, kind of like a thing, right? And the energy basically is really, really high. And this is like resembling those Norse words, kind of like that are describing metal ore. So metal, they would put as a shield, so you can imagine how that was basically protection. But when Uruz is in the inverted position, did I say the stamp? It was like 23 probably, pardon me. When this is in a verse position, then who am I reading? Who am I reading now? I even forgot who am I reading. Libra? No, that's not Libra. It's the next one. I completely forgot. Anyway, I'm going to finish this because obviously I'm getting sidetracked. It's a powerful change of the bull, kind of like that is really happening. So it's still forceful, but this bull can be like in corrida. It can go everywhere, kind of a thing, right? It can be overwhelming. You might be mauled, right, by events, kind of like which you have little or no influence. You're like that picador around it, not even toreador. Picador, somebody who just tries to prick the bull and bull, really? I'll show you, kind of a thing. So what is really important here is to be able to admit a defeat. So it is Libra, yeah, because I was telling Barbie. So Barbie, like I mean said, forget it, F it. This car is like messed up. What do I do? Like, it's just basically saying, I don't know what I can do with that. She did, and she's getting the stuff now done. Even though it's not the ideal situation, you should probably get a new car. That's just my opinion, and I would kind of go for it. Hello, Onyx. Hello, Mr. Kittens. Kittens are getting bigger. So, this is, I think, also talking about self-esteem and self-assertion. And, like, I mean, lifestyle review might be in order over here. This can also talk about health issues, but this is really, really distinct possibilities. So just mentioning, because like, just think about it, like if this is a kind of shape of a cup, but it's really a bowl upright, but when it's reversed, I always see it as a cup. It's almost like I feel it's stagnating the stuff in there, and everything is like really beating on it and doesn't have any influence. So Libra, this is a little bit of forced healing. I guess you can think of it as a tower moment, and sorry to be you, since this is my ascendant, but I had a tower moment last night. We all had the tower moment to some kind of like extent here or there. So, and this says, I try not to watch too much of it. I try to keep the positive, and news is bad news. Chris goes, 1 to 2 inches of rain is predicted tomorrow. Okay, thank God. So rare for September. We are already looking freaking winter in the morning. We have fires every year here somewhere. I'm on a well and have watering my garden. Okay, that really, really helps. They wanted mine before I even checked it in. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, thank you, Andy. They're like really cute, and Onyx is getting so big that I really have to take a second look to see if this is him or Matrix. His sister is going to be smaller, and Onyx is already bigger than Safi, and he's heavier than Safi. It's hilarious how quickly they grow. And his personality is really amazing. He always comes and kind of like puts his paws up like this, and he wants to be picked up, so to hug me. It's adorable. Okay guys, this is the next one that you guessed. I'm going to put the one for after. So we have Taurus, Scorpio. Scorpio is popular. And did anybody go? Who's playing? Daggy, can you babysit a little bit? Can you babysit while I do the reading? Where is he? He saved him yesterday. He got locked. So, Onyx, here, look at the camera. Look in the camera. Hey. Everything is interesting. I want to be a kitten, perpetual kitten in my next life. So it's going to be a Leo. We do have a guest. We have a Chris. Okay, so Chris is going to be bundled up with George for getting his card. Chris. And how many do we have so far? Because Mr. Onyx is going to rearrange this. We had three. So let's do the Leo. Chris, I don't know if you caught up what I initially said. I'm just doing things a little bit differently in order to keep it under our those. What did I say I'm going to call them? Here we go. Now we have Jaspy Girl. Come on, Jaspy Girl. What is? Now string is here. Oh my goodness, I forgot about the string. Jaspy Girl is right here. I'm going to show you. Jaspy Girl. And here we go. Leo. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, looks like it's very interesting. This is upright. It's called Tiwaz, and it's the rune on commitment. And the stamp is, for you, the real one is going to be 30 minutes. So hopefully it's going to work out. So this is a really good thing. As you can see, it's very military. You know, like what this represents in military, penis, right? And that's why they put it on their little kind of like, what do they call it? Epaulette. What do they call it? It's on the side, because it's how many penises you have. I have a bigger one, kind of a thing, right? So of course this is like god of war. It's the Norse god of war, Alakamin Tiwaz, and it's really the rune of commitment over here that's really talking about it. So honor your commitments over here, very important, right? So there's like a lots of talk about honor, and that is going to be extremely important here. I'm still trying to now redo it over here. So this is a masculine rune, my dear Leo. So it's going to take, whether you're man or woman, to wear pants in the family. It's going to be important. And it's going to be about contracts or kind of like, it's going to favor men, I really have to say, even though it applies on both of us. So if you have something that you really need to do with men, like, just keep this in mind. This is the next one, madam. And if you're a woman and you receive this rune and currently you're asking about relationship, right, then that basically, it kind of like gives you a really interesting, passionate answer. It says it's going to be lots of sex. So anybody who is after Leo here, you know what they are having on their mind over here, right? But this also suggests not only, my dear Leo, that you're going to have passionate sex, but it's going to be, especially women, that's going to be a very strong and handsome man, and who is going to really take care of you, even love you kind of like fiercely. So as I'm not afraid about your sex life over here, I have to warn a little bit about jealousy and domination. As you know, it's only one thing. It's very kind of like territorial over here. This also can indicate legal disputes, but they are going to be resolved in a very, very good way. Also, maybe you're going to become more athletic. Maybe you're going to be doing stuff more like sports, and this is kind of predicting victories. It's kind of like really, really good. So as long as you believe in your heart what you are doing is right, you have the strength. Remember, the word strength is like your card. You have the strength of purpose to succeed in your all endeavors. So this is really good, but it's very like regimented. It's very much what you really need to do. So we are done with Leo, and my apology for needing Yogi for giving you really skewed timestamps. I'm trying to think in that direction. So new guesses over here, guys. This is for the next one, and this is on here. So I don't know how many we had so far. I had to remove it for the kittens. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4. So this is going to be after these 2. Then Chris and George, and whoever wins is going to get a new reading. The only way is up. Please, guys, yes, please like. It's very, very important. And okay, so we have Gemini, Capricorn, Gemini, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius. Yes. Okay, thanks, Yogi. Ooh, we have Knitting Yogi this time, getting her way. So let me just put you on the list. And the stamp for you is 3410. So let's see. Okay, so Scorpio, you're getting also Othila. Did we not start with Virgos? This was basically the opening. It's the rune of authority, but in your case it is reversed. So let me just give you a refresher. You can go in the beginning and listen to the longer explanation for the upright, but this is like association with tribal things, with clan, with your ancestry, with your family, right? It can also talk about law and things need to be done in a proper way, about organizing things. So when this comes reversed, it talks about quarrels. It talks about quarrels mostly about money and status, right? And also, like, I mean, any kind of disputes may arise in this particular kind of thing. Holy moly, Scorpio, right? Um, I would really talk because it's ancestors. It would probably, I don't know. I'm getting inheritance also, maybe inheritance dispute, but also insurance dispute. I don't know, Barbie. Do you have any Scorpio in you, or you're influencing me here? This is also talking about disloyalty. There is like somebody there. That is disruptor, that is trying to overturn established principles, and it's kind of like, I don't care that we have done it all the time. You know how in Asian countries they have the laws that the first child inherits 50%, the second one 25%, the third one 12%, and so on and so forth, right? So you're punished for not being first, basically, right? So maybe somebody's saying here, that doesn't work for me, we are going to change it, I'll go to the court if needs to be. So this is literally what you get with that. So in some cases also the invert of Tila warns that you really need to take care to avoid accidents with machinery. So make sure that your car has the oil and that everything can runs properly. And if any small problem is happening, I would just take this car to basically the shop. So be cautious, don't be too impulsive, don't take unnecessary risk, and you will be okay over here. So I really hope. Oh, Scorpio, you have lots of Scorpio planets in the chart. So how I look when I look the chart, and I really have my own interpretation, and I'm not perfect, I am not schooled other than the basics in astrology. But when I do the reading, I really mostly pay attention to the closest planets. So it will be Mars, it will be Venus, it will be Mercury. So how are communications, where are we soft, where are we hard, kind of like affect us. I have to say that since Yogi pointed out to me that there is a view of Jupiter in the sky, I'm going to start adding Jupiter, because this morning I went out for a walk with Tiger and I saw a moon. And then I have little app sky map, and I just pointed out, and it showed that the Mars is right next to the moon, but it was just a clear blue sky. So it goes to show that, like, if you don't, it depends, I guess, how which side they're showing, if the sun has enough blast to show them. But Jupiter is also good to see expansion in your life. So these planets to me are the most important. Like Pluto, gaseous planet in the back of the universe that is technically not even planet anymore. I don't know if this is really showing any influence. So all these planets are influencing us in a different way. And I think now we have a Saturn in Capricorn, if I watched it last night, which is good. It's everybody has to be kind of like very regimented as of recently. So this one, let's see the guesses. Did you throw the guesses over here? And this is the last one before I draw these cards for my fellows. So we have a Capricorn guess. Hi Lorna, where is Lorna? Oh, hello, we were wondering about you. How is everything going? Is everything okay? So we have the guesses. Aquarius over here. Anybody else? I am opening this up. Andy guessed it. Look at this. We have 3 guys. What is like the chance of 4 people who won so far? We have 3 guys, and like we usually only have one guy on the chat, so I'm freaking amazed. Ikat. Oh, sorry, Ikat. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I finish this reading, you guys are going to get your readings. And the timestamp is 3940. That's the real one. So, Capricorn. So, what are you getting? Maybe a Capricorn. Let's give it a good shuffle. And whoa, like this is like as you can see, it's almost like the arrow, but like we have like two different S's. One is called Awaz, which is more like a hook, and this one, like a Harry Potter as they call it, is called Sowelo. It's the rune of the sun. It equals to the sun card in tarot. It's very powerful. It's kind of like pathway to victory, like you are the one that is being seen, you are the one that is being kind of like appreciated, right? So this is kind of like expressing life-giving brightness, right? Without the sun we have no life. It's a glory. And you know, like if you're thinking about these tribes before, they would always honor the sun and the moon, and it was just the ritualistic, which was more keeping us in touch with the nature, right? So this is talking about your personal illumination. And you know, like in association kind of like with the sun, it can actually talk about a holiday as well. It can indicate victory, especially if you're playing sports as well. So this is like a warm glow, and it is like something that is affecting your fate. So it's not just a tiny little thing. Like all of these runes are like major arcanas over here, right? So what we are dealing here with is then this is a rune of hope, and even if you have the darkest moments, this is going to turn you around. It's going to really work out. So it's very good rune to draw, like for example if you're in trouble. That really means no, don't worry, things will actually work out, because happy outcome is really certain over here. So if you guys, and this doesn't have, as you can see, can you see it? There is no reverse meaning. It's always freaking positive. And that's why I always read the sun one way, except maybe it's even a little better when it's like not blasting in your face, because that way it's more comfortable for us. So what basically this also means, if you have any legal affairs, this is kind of like connecting to that virtue of justice, right? So if this rune appears, you know that you're going to take the right action, because this is always kind of leading you toward the victory. Maybe it's not going to be that finality right now, but it's really getting there. So this is also really closely linked with our emotions, with workings of the human heart, right? It's considered very good omen for your love life, and it's adding that warmth that is really needed to kind of like make this tiny little kind of like plants, let's call them love, grow, right? And this signifies a time of happiness and harmony. So if you are out to meet somebody, then this might be really true love that will really flourish. And also if you're having legal affairs, justice will be done. So this is like a rune of wisdom as well, and that wisdom is what we have to take away from this is like fair play and respected partnerships, right? So message is always crystal clear, giving that doesn't have the reverse meanings. So do we have any guesses for this one? So if anybody guesses, I can bundle you up with the reading with this one. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, wasn't this one? You're only doing doors. Yes, Barbie, we're only doing no, actually I'm going to do the doors now, knitting yogi, because it's going to be really hard to do it. I know it's not what we talked about, so it's my problem. So one more card, guys, you can guess, so I can kind of like bundle you up with a reading with this, and then I'm going to do the readings for everybody who has won. So we have Aquarius, takers. Welcome, Andy, hope it helps. It was really a long time. So Cancer, Taurus, Gemini. Man, guys, like somebody has to win. 14 people pick a different message. So let me see. Lorna, it will be you, Lorna, and Cancer is next. All right, so the first one was George. Starting with this part, George, your card is 7 of Cups. Seven of Cups is about choices, about desires, about the wishes. And it's talking that there is like no shortage of those. There are like lots of possibilities that are presenting, or that you're feeling that you're at some kind of like inception where you really want to go in all directions. But ultimately, this card also suggests confusion. Confusion can happen because, like you just like spread yourself too thin. You're just going and not really knowing what exactly you want. And then it's almost like the squirrel here. Oh, it's there, it's there. So you keep moving. In the end, you feel like, you know what? I tried a little bit from every single ice cream flavor, but I really didn't pick anything to really truly enjoy. But you know what? I kind of like live my life like that, and kind of like tasting different things, trying to do different things. So it's the difference between an expert and taster. So you might kind of like just find yourself in the situation. So I would just say go with the flow. The next one was Chris. Ah, that's right. Chris, you are getting the world reversed. I'm just trying to see how is this fitting your Capricorn reading over here. The world reverse is not the best place to be, because the world reverse means that you were supposed to do something karmically. You have been asked to do it. You have been asked to go through something that is not necessarily pleasant. Remember, the card before this is judgment. It is like confessing our sins, releasing some kind of like vices. But this means this was not accomplished. This was not done. So maybe you're tapping yourself on the shoulder for something that you have skillfully evaded. But the truth of the matter is that you were supposed to deal with that head on. So if you know what it is, just go back to it. Mercury retrograde is a great time to address it. But if you don't know, this is going to present itself again. So hopefully kind of like in which direction you need to go. Let me have a sip of coffee. I'm watching Onyx over here jumping around Safi. She's getting better. Just like a few tiny little hisses. The next one is Yogi. Yogi, you are getting also reversed Two of Pentacles, but this is not bad when it gets reversed, except something is out of balance. Like, what is good thing about it? He is in balance. What is not good thing about it? He's juggling. He is going to get out of balance any freaking time. So here it is. Okay, you know what? Observing everything that is out of balance and trying to figure it out how to make it work. So it's also about choices. Like sometimes we need to make concessions with our choices. Sometimes we need to realize that not everybody is honest about us, that people are sitting on two chairs. So this is like being reversed, is talking about realization of certain things that don't sit right, that you just kind of like really don't want to go in that direction. So just keep this in mind here, madame. Andy, lots of winners here, almost like more than I read. Andy, we have Seven of Cups again, the same thing that I said to George. It's something that you're faced with lots of options, and if you keep picking and keep thinking and keep not being satisfied, you'll have to keep going. It's not going to be that anchor feeling that you're putting it down and you're feeling comfort. It's almost like going from a relationship instead of like finding one where you can just like dive in and explore everything that can be kind of like presented there. So this talks about nervousness. This talks about things not really sitting right for some reason. So it is good to either go with the flow and know this is what's happening, but this is not the time for expecting something great if you're not willing to basically take one and just follow one. So that's if you see that you're continuously changing something, whatever this is for you, then it means, okay, you have to either change your attitude or you have to continue going with the flow. And then we have ECAT here. Okay. ECAT, you have Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is about something lovely, a new beginning, something that you emotionally feel connected to, that can forecast a new relationship, some new flirtation of some sort. It is kind of like something that emotionally you're craving and emotionally you're getting. So this is really where kind of like you can go in a kind of like good way. So that cup, that cup is full. So you drink entire cup at the Ace of Cups, and then throughout the rest of the cards, you're filling the cup little by little. But that full cup that the King of Cups gives is like now ready to be drunk, because it kind of gives us motivation. So it's a new beginning of some sort for you. And we have, hi Lynn, bonjour. We have Lorna. We have Lorna Savalin. And Lorna, Lorna, you have two cards that just jumped. One is Temperance reversed, and one is Seven of Wands reversed. So Temperance is patience. Temperance is something that can be made work with simply our own sense of who we are, with our sense of being. We can put two sworn enemies together and they can play cards and become friends, right? This is the power of Temperance. Well, this doesn't happen when this is reversed. What is the power of Seven of Wands? Seven of Wands is like you finally achieve some career success in your life, and then you're realizing, I tried so hard, I'm so happy to be here, but oh my god, everybody wants to be in this chair, and now you have to not only be the best at your work, but you also have to fend off all of these people who are contending for your chair. So this came reversed, which means you have no patience and you don't want to contend. So this almost indicates some level of maturity, if you wish, because these 7 and 14 are kind of like also related in flavor and how they feel. And almost like if you really look at them from this standpoint, they look actually very similar. People are just pointing things at you and you don't care. So this is a certain level of self-appreciation, of knowing who you are and knowing that you don't have to keep proving yourself. But this also can warn that there could be two people that will feel that it's your responsibility to kind of like create or mend some certain situation, and then that didn't happen. Pardon me, guys, that will have to wait, and I have to put this on I'll have to put this a little bit on hold. It will have to wait. So hopefully, guys, you got your messages over here, and we will continue. What was this one? Oh, we are continuing with Cancer, and the time is 53:10 for Cancer. So let's see what we get over here. So I did go a little bit over time, but that's because we put the doors here. Cancer. My patience have been tested at work. So here we go. Like we have Uruz. Cancer this time, Uruz for you is upright. This is the rune of irresistible force. We did have Uruz before, so this is that bull and a strong, untamable, wild bull. What do we call it? Bison. Is it bison? God, this is like wild bull, I think. It's like my knowledge of the animal kind of things. So this is energy is really good news, especially if you guys have been ill or suffered from, let's say, unwillingness to do anything. You know, that Four of Cups, kind of like a feeling it doesn't make sense with you guys, or if you just haven't been vital, right? Maybe you're living in the southern hemisphere and you guys went through the winter and you were just couch potato. I'm couch potato 12 months 24/7, so it's good for you if you want to get some activity, right? So this is considered to be a rune of healing, even though it's called the rune of resistible force. because these forces of universe are here to simply kind of give you this energy to get there. So your physical strength is going to improve over here, and whatever it is, the health will be restored, right? So if physical health is not the issue here, then you're going to likely feel that events will kind of like follow one from another, and they're going to start accelerating, like the speed is going to increase, and yet you're going to feel strong will. So if you, for example, want to quit smoking, or you want to go on a diet, this is going to give you the will and forcefulness to kind of like carry on and continue with that, right? So confidence is also highly improved when you see that, but also be careful. Sometimes confidence can end up being arrogance. So it has to be this fine line, and that's one of the lessons that is contained in this room. Kind of like that, you have to treat everybody with respect. Otherwise, it's just like snatched away from you, right? So you have the power, you have to respect the power. Isn't this like every kind of like hero and every villain? It's the same rule. So that's where it is. With the big power, you get big responsibility, right? You might be goaded into the action, and that's where you're thinking, no, not going to happen to me. Of course, not me. Me? No. But yeah, it's going to happen to you, because it's going to be kitty, 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 kitty. You'll be goaded into the action, and it's going to be really difficult to stop or change it once when it is in the process. Yeah, you heard kitty, kitty. You showed up, Matrix, right? So follow just the chosen path, trust to yourself, and things will actually work out. What's up, Matrix? Huh? Yeah, you see? Somebody's responding to kitty kitty. This is a big black cat. Yeah. Do we have any guesses for the next one, guys? Oh, you're a good boy. You're good. And I see nothing. Oh, and there's Jasper. So I have like small table full of cats at the stage. Come on, Jasper girl. Jasper girl is over there. Oh, passing by. Isn't this like not enough room over here? Don't you want to go to the window? Yeah, up here, up here, up here. There you go. So let me see the guesses. Pisces, Taurus, oui, Bison. Taurus, doors are at the end right now. I don't know if I'm reading something called Pisces, Gemini, power of the widow. Is that a song or something? Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus. So let's see. How many do we have here? 2, 4, 6. And then it's going to be the next one here. And Virgo has been read. So good thing I pulled the next one. Pisces, Kylie's on a roll. Okay, not this kitty, not a couch potato. Okay, Kylie, I'm putting your name here, Kylie, and let's check. Was it Pisces or is that the next one? No, that is Pisces, and here is going to be the next one. So the stamp is 5830, my dear knitting yogi. And here we have that other S that I told you that is in the rune that is called Awaz, or the rune of progress. It's the rune number 13, the lucky 13 over here. Hello, madam. So basically this is the courage, this is planning, and it does make sense. Even though Pisces and Virgo are opposite, I am not surprised that this kind of like is linking you two, because you're on the same axis, right? Like, so whenever you have these two signs. So do I have to hide this again? It's like everything has to be cat proof. And Matrix is licking Safi, and Safi gave him a dirty look and a hiss. That's unusual. She usually likes to be. And that little meow, if you heard it, that's... Ow! Oh, that was Onyx who just jumped and clawed me in the back. Yes, you bad boy. You bad boy. So, let's see the rune of the progress. We are not progressing anywhere. Cats are clearly training me over here, right? So the symbolic meaning here is like hunting with a bow over here, right? So it's the Icelandic room kind of like poem. It describes something like it was like bent bow and brittle iron, something like that, and then sandy arrow, right? So it's also associated. I'm not so sure what kind of like tree was it. I think it was called Jew tree. Is there such a tree over here? It's kind of like tree that hunting bows are made from, right? So I don't know, like, I mean, if I'm translating this properly from Croatian or not, so my apologies. So anyway, this is a rune of progress, guys, spices. So it means situations are definitely moving on. And if currently you feel that your life is like just comfortable, uh, you are going to be shaken up. Things around you will start to be a little tornado. They will move at a very, very hectic pace, and you're going to see lots of developments, right? So this is associated with hunting, clearly, and you have to you will be either huntee or you will be the hunter. It's going to be just like basically your pick. Also, just like Sowello, this rune doesn't have a reversal because they're both positive. So you're hitting your target. You're going toward the target, right? This is what is really happening. Um, Often this rune shows us that time has come to gather our courage and be ready to take a risk. So you might find a very quiet personality standing up and be kind of like counted, kind of a thing, right? Occasionally this represents a person, and it's usually positive and really firm influence, somebody who's really strong-willed or somebody who is really positive, right? So you might be trying to tap into the holy grail of living forever. I don't know, I'm picking that somebody's here really trying to buy a whole bunch of supplements to take care of their health, and they're looking for some kind of guru or following somebody else's path in order to accomplish that, right? So this is clearly telling you that you'll have to have this ability to quickly adapt to new circumstances and new opportunities, but you also need to be bold. If you're shrinking violet, that whole opportunity is just going to pass by you. So this is really on you if this is really happens. So if you're expecting problems, guys, these problems are not going to happen, and that's what this rune guarantees for you. So that really happens. Is it a Jew tree? That's what I thought it was called. So thanks for confirming, right? Let's see, what did I lose? Gotta step away from chat. Oh, so Kylie's kiddo split her, what was it, wrist or something. So we all had some kind of tower moment like last night and Barbie this morning. So it's a day to be careful, right? So Georgia, good realization. So it's just a few runes, and the third one is that blank rune, right? Joy is a tree. People use the bark, branch tips, and needles to make medicine. I'm going to check. I didn't realize that the medicine is made out of it. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's check the next one. No, actually, I am not doing it because we're in the last one. So the guessing time is over. So we are doing this one next. But since you're throwing in your hat, let's see what happens. So Gemini, so Andy got Gemini. I'm going to take it, Andy, put your name. But the last one, of course, we are not checking. So how come it looks like short? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm feeling I'm missing 2. I don't have anything left in there. Is that the kittens took it, or we did all of the signs, guys? Please help. Something is off, and I don't think that. I think that probably kittens took the the paper, and it's who knows where right now. Or I simply didn't read. Oh no, there are 2 here. Oh, everything works, and this is the last one, but I still might be missing one. We'll figure out. So Gemini is going next, and the timestamp is 1:04:20. Whoa, so we are getting Tiwas reversed. So, what can go wrong when you're in front of the people who are pointing freaking guns at you? Like, Jesus Christ, Gemini. Do we have any Geminis? You're like just on the what do you call it, shooting row, artillery row, like a death row kind of a thing. That's kind of how it feels. So this is the rune of commitment, and somebody's demanding something from you heavily, right? And this kind of like somebody's pointing out some underhanded actions. Somebody's perceiving you as not serving them with what they feel they rightfully deserve. Um, you will be blamed that you are selfish, that you have dishonorable motives, and that you are turning back or you turn back on somebody, something like that. In this position, this is particularly dangerous for women, as I told when I did it upright, that Tiwa's upright. Tiwa's generally favors the man because it's a military rune. It's the basically god of war rune, right? So it's the same as chariot in tarot. So when the chariot is reversed, the things just go out in a ditch and off you go, kind of a thing. It's not much that can be done. So because this is reversed and because this rune favors men, this can be particular danger for women because it implies betrayal by men. It may indicate, I don't know, a relationship that maybe looks like it's beautiful, it's flowing properly, but in reality is a sham. So you really, really need to be aware, my dear Geminis over here. This is a big warning, and I'm sorry that it came through, but forewarned is forearmed, isn't it? Like as they say. So no more guesses. I am picking it up over here, and we are going with Taurus next over here. So the stamps are going to be, I have to watch the delay over here. It's going to be 10710. There it is, something different over here. So this is called, what is this called? Gosh, I always had a problem pronouncing this. Turisas or something like that. Oh, please, maybe somebody can look it up. It's the rune of boundaries, basically. I know the meaning and everything, but I think I always go with thorn because that's the easiest way for me to remember it. Because as we can see it, it has this kind of like formation over here, right? This is actually the third rune, so it's very, very important. So this is like literally you need to know when to stop rune, right? So the thorn tells you back off. That's defense if you kind of like wish. So it's talking about this sharp defense, right? And it's surviving still in this world. It kind of like managed to get itself in. And today we see it in the word Thursday. And that's kind of like where this whole rune has come from. It's like really Saxon origins over there. So this suggests boundaries. It suggests fences, right? It's really talking about those parcels of land, defending your land, right? So in reading, this is associated with personal boundaries. Somebody wants more than you want, or vice versa, and this has to be really established. I really think it's encroaching upon you, that you are in defense mode over here, and this kind of like represents limitations of somebody crossing the line, somebody doing things that you're not ready to do. So you know, like it can represent a time of personal danger as well. So, but I don't really feel really physical, even though you really get scratched if you go through rose bushes or anything like that, right? Even though they look beautiful, still there is that harm there. So this is a warning also, but it's warning that the people around you could be dishonest and they're actively working toward your downfall. So whatever this is, you know, whether this is career, whether this is personal, whether this is your family doing something and trying to do something behind your back, but at least you know. This is in particular the case if you deal business, if you're like the owner of the business or dealing with something, because it can kind of like address it there, right? So this is a timely warning, and it's urging that vigilance from you, and don't take unnecessary risk. Very important, because this is like a precise strategic kind of like thing. So just think about, how would you go to the torn fence? Would you slowly move things and just move carefully, or would you just throw yourself in and just get all scratched, right? So this talks about really preparation to defend yourself. So be careful with this one. And the very last one today is Aquarians, aren't we? We got the honor for being the last. So just waiting for a time stepper here. That bull is staying in their field, isn't it? Yeah. That's for sure. So the last stamp is like 11035. 11035 for Aquarius. 11035. So, and let's see what we get here. Thank you, Guru. I really appreciate this. Oh my gosh, what is this? Like, do we have a militant week, or what's going on? Like, the messages are like, you stay in line, you have to be warned. Like, oh my freaking god. Like, it was just one. What is the Capricorn of the god is sun? Everything else is like giving us some really, really strict message kind of a thing. So Tiwaz again. Tiwaz is the rune of commitment. It's the rune of military, the rune that favors men. So keep this in mind. But it also rules everything that, quote unquote, would go under men's umbrella. Legal processes, putting things in order, straightening the things at home, like making sure that the walls are properly kind of like lined up, right? So, like, I mean, it's firm and unbreakable kind of like actions that are really happening. So you put your foot down kind of a thing, like it's like, yes sir, kind of a thing, right? So it's very important over here that I don't know, like, this can be a wedding, believe it or not, because you have to go through it, right? It's almost like the ritualistic kind of like part of that. It's really important, right? So this is that promise that has to be carried on, right? And so, but if you're getting through the freaking marriage, if this is kind of like something that you have in mind, you have to understand this person is kind of rigid. If you're a woman, that's why it favors men, because this is a little bit of rigid kind of like environment that you go through, right? But technically it also gives you knowledge that because certain things are already carved in stone, that you're going to win, for example, legally, that you're going to have victory when it comes to job, research, environment, as long as you kind of like put things properly. That's, if you remember, I said it's really good news. Also, if you're a woman, if you want to maybe kind of like get some really good jump in a sack, because it's going to predict really passionate nights, and if you don't know who the partner is, then it's going to be somebody really vigorous and handsome, and nothing wrong with that, right? So you also need to really believe in yourself. You really need to believe in your heart that what you're doing is right, and you will have the strength and purpose to succeed in your endeavors. So in the end, I didn't do the doors. I just realized it, but it kind of like works. Okay, this one was on the side. So we are going to do doors now in the interest of time. Yeah, that's kind of like, I'm a little bit over, but it's going to work. But before I do that, Kylie and Andy need to get their own reading. So yeah, that Mars conjunct the moon, that's what I saw this morning in the sky. But I was trying to see if I can see Mars with the naked eye, and I couldn't. So conjunct means they're really close. The closest they are, the more influence it is. And they're actually close in the sky as well, not just in our kind of like vision kind of stuff. So Kylie, let's see. Define good jump in the sack. Well, that's very relative, isn't it, Kylie? What is good for you maybe is not good for me. So let's leave it to that. So Kylie, you have 9 of Wands. This is freaking you. Just be you. Like, nothing more, nothing less. You be you. Whenever you think that you're wrapping certain things up to kind of like be accepted, or that vocabulary has to be used, that you're not being you. This is being Sagittarius. This is exploring. This is asking for the big goals. This is asking for a vision. This is kind of like what you really need to be. So there you go. And Andy, you squeezed yourself in. Good for you. Andy, you are getting 9 of Cups reversed. Now that's interesting. So this is saying you should be happy. Why aren't you happy? That's what this card says. So 9 of Cups is generally solo card. As you can see, she sits there, she meditates. Maybe you kind of like, maybe you wanted to get together with somebody, ended up being solo. And you know what they say, when you're given lemons, make a lemonade, or make something good out of it. But you're a little bit displaced when this guy shows up. It's nothing really bad. It just like says that something is not really going to go as planned. Something is going to make you feel off, right? But maybe if you are thinking like, now that you are forewarned, just prepare yourself some kind of solo moments. Know what you're going to do if you're solo. You might have a book prepared. You might have, I'm going to make myself my high tea with the little mini sandwiches. I'm going to make a cake. Oh, by the way, I made zucchini cake last week, and it was not great initially. The recipe had to be adjusted. I already did adjust it. It was a little bit too sweet initially. I don't know why they put so much sugar in those recipes, and I put less and it still was sweet. And I didn't put any what do you call it, what is stuff that you put on top of it, right? Any glazing. And the next day was better. It was really nice and moist. But then I wrapped each individual one and I shared it with my neighbor, half of that freaking production. And I wrapped it with a plastic wrap, put it in the freezer. And I was taking just one a day. And oh my God, they were suddenly amazing. So it looks like the moisture has to progress in it. So in the end, it kind of like turned out okay. So let's do the doors, guys. Let's do the doors. I'm going to be shuffling this. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And the doors are going to be, the timestamp is 1:17:00. Yeah, confectionery sugar. I always put either yellow or brown, but I put molasses if I have. I use agave, but I think ultimately they still boil down to the same thing in our body, right? So that's what it is. So you're welcome, Andy. Oh, thank you. Breakup yesterday. I'm so sorry. You should go and check and get my reading if you need to, just to get a closure or just to see what is going on, if you want. Here for the end, finish your first 10K raise. Oh my God, I probably didn't make 10K in my life. It's kind of like slow and steady. All right, so let's do it. That's going to be door number 1. That's going to be door number 3, and this is going to be door number 2. So mini waffle maker makes them look like a spider web. Ready for Halloween. I need a whole cake. Well, you know what? This is a great time to do it. Breakups are good to treat yourself with something that is feeling comfort. So doors, I did give you a stamp. So it's actually, the shuffle is there. Think about your question, and here we are going to pull it up. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. So if you guys thought of a number 1, you're getting King of Cups. The answer is no. Somebody's going to make you all the promises and nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to move forward. Somebody's going to take advantage of you. Beware of this guy who is giving you some emotional promises. That's a big warning over here. And sorry, that's exactly what happened. The door number 2, I didn't even see it until now. Door number 2, you have the Chariot. So there is like a choice of the ways you need to be. So this is like a Tiwa's rune. Like it's very, you really have to be focused. You really know what you're doing. You have to have your trip planned. You have to know how to react in certain situations. There's all of that kind of like is asking for you to have this preparation done. The chariot is generally very fast. It goes toward success. It goes toward achievement. Um, it rolls over anybody in the process, and it is a commitment. However, it's not commitment in this moment. It's working toward it. So generally, the chariot is single, versus Tiwas, it can be like sort of arranged marriage, kind of like marriage that has to last forever, and so on and so forth. So the answer here is dual. It is a yes if you ask about some kind of project, but it is a no if you're going to get together with someone, because that someone still needs to explore their freedom at this stage. And oof, the door number 3 is death. So the answer is no. And the answer is no, because something has to happen before this is even made possible. Does this make sense? So you're asking to be with somebody, for example. So that would mean that somebody has to break up with somebody in order to be with you. And this is like still something, an action is in progress, but it's also indicating that is going to end at some point, because this is like talking a no, yes after no. This is kind of like the answer. It's very difficult, and it doesn't give us any length of time. Even if you see the card, one door is closed and one door is crack open. So nope, nope, and nope. And even Kitty is not so happy. And it's even the rope over here that is here. So we don't know what this rope does. Is it some kind of deadly thing? It almost looks like there is some kind of, it's almost like my house. There's just like the skunk smell going around. I open all the windows, so hopefully it's going to help. So number 3, asking, will my training on Monday will be successful? So no, and then yes. Initially, you're going to be very weirded out. You're going to feel like, holy shit, what am I doing? And then by the end of the day, it's going to feel like, okay, now I think I'm figuring it out. So it might feel a little bit overwhelming, kind of like, doesn't have to be always extreme, guys. It can be something very, very soft, right? Knitting yogi, which one did you pick? Number 3, the same thing. It might be initially rejection, or we don't know how to format it, but then things are going to work out later. So something has to happen. Maybe need to have somebody first finish before this happens. So that's kind of like the nature of this card. That is not a bad card. And if you talk to any Scorpio, I don't know if you have any Scorpio over here, if you talk to any Scorpio, they see that card and go, yes! I had my student from my class contacting me last Saturday, just before our last live. And he just told me about some bad energies that are circulating around him, asking me if I have any advice. So I gave him a little bit of magic, and I said, oh, by the way, it's also full moon. Why don't you combine this kind of like 2 things together? So he was just really looking forward to cleaning all his house, to rubbing this oil that I told him on all his, like, threshold. He said, oh, I didn't do all of that. I just did all my walls, all my, what do you call this, the stuff that has the armchair and under wainscoting, right? He said I did everything, and then I cleaned myself. I had a really nice full moon ceremony. He said, I feel I was just born, and I feel so guilty that I'm not doing these ceremonies every single full moon. So there you go. That's Scorpio. And for the rest, for me it will be like, oh my god, I have to do it. It's just different folks, different strokes, right, as they say. So guys, the next time, so how is this working when we have every week? I think it works as long as it's like not going on forever. And I know this is for me, it's a little bit selfish, but I don't want to be really exhausted, and I can give you more. On the 24th, we are having monthly reading, so it's going to be 3 cards for each sign. It might last a little bit longer, but even that, I'm going to try to keep under 2 hours. So I want to thank everybody for being here and getting a little bit better with giving the stamps. My apologies. Thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Knitting Yogi, for helping, and also Creative Guru for stepping in and putting this as well. Really, really appreciate it. And until the next time, guys, I really hope you're going to have a wonderful week. Remember, we are still in Mercury retrograde. Things happen. Cars break down. We send the wrong letters to the wrong people. People give you wrong information. Don't take anything for granted. However, if you have some old stuff that has been brewing for quite a while, go and run toward it, address it. If you have a beef with somebody, go address it. It's really important to go in this direction. Okie dokie, everybody. I love you, and until the next time, have a wonderful time. Wish you all the best.